Hey guys, Zephyrnix here. So the big debate, which one is better? Which one will be the superior one, the one to rule them all? Will it be the cell phone, the smartphone, which allows you to do all kinds of apps and games and everything like that on one device, versus the handheld portable gaming system, which allows you to play plenty of games and has a little bit of apps now and then? You know, a lot of people are trying to figure out which one they think is better, which one will be, you know, will actually the cell phone actually take over when it comes to the handheld. Now, the thing is this. I don't really have an opinion on it. I don't really care. Quite frankly, I'm just being perfectly honest. I think it's kind of a stupid question, because even though I do understand about having a cell phone, to be perfectly honest with you, I'd rather Voltron. Anyway, I'd rather also have the you know, my gaming device for my Nintendo stuff. You know, definitely it's one of the things I want. But then you also have to factor in that there are a lot more games out for portable gaming, you know, a lot more quality games, should I say, than there is on cell phones. But at the same time, you also have to factor in that things like iPhone are actually starting to, will be able to go ahead and run engines such as the next Unreal Engine. That cannot be denied. So, with that being said, what is the answer? What is the answer? Zephyrnix doesn't have an answer. I don't. But you know what? I decided to go ahead to a higher source to find an answer. I'm not going to go ahead and speak his name on camera right here, as I did not get permission to do that. But I will go ahead and let you know where he stands in terms of all this. First of all, he is an avid gamer. The man owns right now a 3DS, a Nintendo DS, a 3DS, a PlayStation Portable, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1. He also owns Xbox 360, Xbox, and Wii, and things of that nature. So he already has, he's a very avid gamer, okay? Not to mention he's also a PC gamer. He's a very avid gamer. So his gaming ability and knowledge in that, I've tested it. It's good. Now, with that being said, he is also an avid iPhone user. Excuse me. He uses iPhone a lot. I've seen the man do some things with the iPhone that I didn't even think possible. You know, he does a lot. Of course, you got to jailbreak it to do it, but granted, he does a heck of a lot with it. So I'm definitely, heck, I thought I even saw him one day make it do a pole dance. You know, I swear it was just all around. But anyway, so he definitely knows that. Not to mention the man who you will hear next is actually a supervisor for Apple. So, yeah, the man is not only someone who uses the products, all right, but he's kind of in charge of some of the, you know, of troubleshooting the products. So he knows the products in and out. So I figured I'd go ahead and get his advice. And this is what he had to say. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so this is the big question. Okay, as someone who is a gamer who has owned a lot of consoles, including handhelds such as the 3DS and whatnot, right, and the PSP, PlayStation 3, Wii, and all that, right? You also own an iPhone and all that. So my question is this: with the fact that with cell phones such as the iPhone becoming extremely strong and whatnot, do you believe that they are taking the place, if not already taking the place of handheld consoles? Handheld consoles.
Not the way that they currently are. The issue that you run into is that, I mean, they're great for casual. I mean, I use my iPhone for casual gaming all the time.
Right.
But unless something's modified on them, which, I mean, in the future it's possible, but not currently, they're never going to be able to give you the same effectiveness of a real game, you know, a good 40, 50-hour game.
Right.
I mean, you can play some fighting games on them, some racing games, but that's pretty much it. You know, I mean, I've downloaded some RPGs on my iPhone, and they're fun, but there's something about them that after like an hour or two, I'm like, fuck it, this game is boring. And I know for some reason that you could put the same premise on an actual PSP, and I would have been perfectly fine with it, you know?
Right. So
there's just a level of effectiveness that you get with actual buttons and the joystick and stuff.
Right. So what about the fact that, excuse me, that it looks like some handheld consoles are actually adopting some of the features that are on actual cell phones right now, such as apps and things of that nature.
Well, I mean, it doesn't bother me at all that they've got touch screens, that they've got, you know, the gyroscopes and stuff like that. I mean, I don't really see it that much as them adopting cell phone technology.
Right.
I mean, gyroscopes, motion sensing, it's much older than cell phones, and it's been used in gaming much longer than cell phones.
Right.
Touch screens, I mean, computers, normal computers, have been touch screens for years, way before cell phones also. So I don't see it as them taking from cell phones. I see it much more them merely adopting a lot of the same practices that cell phones have taken themselves. Does that make sense?
That does.
So that's the way I see it.
Oh, no, that's actually good. I think you've answered a lot of questions.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
However, with that being said, I was actually in the middle of uploading this video and I had to stop because I found two particular stories that kind of needed to be said in this particular video. Number one, for those who don't know, Dreamscape is an iOS game powered by Unreal 3 engine, which it does kind of bring that to the forefront here. We do know that the Unreal Engine 3 will be playable on iOS. So, I mean, that says a lot. You know, the fact that developers are willing to go ahead out of their way to go ahead and put a game engine, if you will, allow it to be ran on iOS. Not only that, but it actually looks pretty good. That being said, I noticed the characters, especially in the opening, the animated characters look kind of choppy, but the world actually looked pretty good. So that kind of has to be said. Number two, I wanted to read this to you guys real quick. Nintendo President Iwata have said time and again that Nintendo properties will not be developed for anything but Nintendo consoles, so long as he is in charge. However, with the recent flop of Nintendo 3DS launch, subsequently price drops, and 6-year low for Nintendo stock, investors are starting to become vocal in their anger over Nintendo ignoring iOS and Facebook games development. Smartphones are the new battlefield for the gaming industry, says Oki, the funding manager at Tokyo-based Stats Investment Management company. Nintendo should try to either buy its way into the platform or develop something totally new. For those who think there is nothing to this, Pokemon Company announced a project coming to Google's Android platform back in July 6th. This caused Nintendo's largest jump in stock for 4 months. Oh, is that what that was? Sorry, I was actually looking at Nintendo stock recently, and I noticed there was a jump, but I didn't know exactly why. It was declining like a freaking slide, and all of a sudden had a little boost. And I was kind of figuring out what that was. But anyway, it said, so while some may argue that iOS and Android Nintendo games would be competing with their own portable consoles, in the end of the day, it could be the most profitable solution. It also doesn't take a rocket scientist or industry analyst to see that Nintendo stock have been falling, while Apple's have been reaching historic heights. He spelled heights wrong. Anyway, so I just kind of wanted to read that. Long story short, I mean, not that investors are the smartest cookie in the drawer. I'm not remotely saying that. What I am saying is that a lot of people also agree. You know, a lot of people also agree that these are the best platforms to go on. Not only that, but to be perfectly honest with you, this is where the money is. Now, for those who already know how money works, you already know what I'm going at. But if you can go ahead and put a game on iOS and you can make good money, and easy money to be more precise, then why not? I mean, a lot of you mentioned Angry Birds. Angry Birds is a fine example, before it became free, that is. That, you know, you can make really good money off a stupid game. So imagine an actual good game. That being said, though, I'm just wanted to read that, just kind of give my thoughts on that particular article. I really don't have an opinion personally, but whatever's whatever. You guys have a good night.